Hello everybody, Maven here, and it's the final week of the Solstice of Heroes event and the last chance to pick up those god rolls you're looking for. And I'm going to show you the fastest way to farm the Bonfire event, either solo or with the fire team, either with silver leaves or without. Either way, I got you covered. I'm going to be going over some huge tips to make your Bonfire runs much faster, as well as build and loadout suggestions, and a method of getting drops at seemingly twice the normal rate. So let's break it down. Hope you enjoy. So let's start off with some loadout and build recommendations before we break down the strats for the run. So this is the loadout that I would highly recommend. Mountaintop, Graviton Lance, and an Eager Edge Sword. There is nothing else that I would recommend over this. Trust me, this is the single best loadout for this activity. You can skate with this, you can rocket jump with this, and Graviton Lance clears out entire spawn areas with just a couple shots. Now let's talk about builds. So I've been an Assassin's Cal Strand Hunter main for over a year now, so that's what I'll be on personally, but you can also go on Stasis with Frosties so that you can shatter skate around. And yes, I will teach you how to shatter skate in this video for those who do not know. And on Titan, I'd recommend Strand with Severance Enclosure actually, which I just did a build video on recently if you want to check it out. Severance helps clear out groups of ads easily, and Grapple is good for a lot of the vertical elevation in this activity. And on Warlock, the build really doesn't matter as long as you go on Solar with Icarus Dash and Well of Radiance, so you can well skate, which I will teach you how to do right now. So to well skate, you need to be in front of a ledge or on a slope. There just has to be some space in front of you, although it is possible on flat ground. It's much easier from a ledge. So pull out your Eager Edge Sword, then go heavy attack, jump, super, all in quick succession. Now my advice is to not sweat it. You don't need to hit these 3 buttons so fast that it's almost simultaneous. Just relax, just hit them in order, and the timing is pretty generous. Just heavy jump super, 1, 2, 3. That's the timing, 1, 2, 3. It's not as tight as you might think, just take it easy. And as for shatter skating on Hunter, you also have to be in front of a ledge just like Warlock. And a couple of things that you need to know before doing this: if you are on controller, make sure you set your Hunter air dive ability to press. And you also need to turn off the full auto melee setting, or else shatter skating will not work. So pull out your sword, heavy attack, jump, shatter dive, and you'll go flying. And the timing on shatter skating, I would say, is much more generous than well skating. You can do it extremely slow and it will still work. Just heavy jump dive, easy. Now let's break down the actual run itself before we get to the additional tips to get free weapons later. So we start out the run by flying straight to the Blight. Ignore the ads. If you're gonna speed run, you ignore whatever isn't necessary. And just in case you can't fly directly to the Blight in one clean motion, then I'll share a tip that you can Eager Edge out of the cannon's momentum, which is some tech that you'll be utilizing a lot throughout the run. Now the most important part of farming Bonfire is to avoid your teammates like the plague. They're blueberries, they are slow. You are a speedrunner, you are fast. So pay attention to them. If both your teammates follow you, then leave and go elsewhere, because there will be 2 spawn zones at any given time. Your fire team has to multitask and split up to be more efficient. Now here's a quick example of map placement. So my match-made fire team just finished the first 2 waves of ads, so now we're waiting for another spawn zone to spawn in, right? Well, your blueberries are like preschoolers when you wave candy in front of their face. They see the next spawn zone, they're gonna run to it like it's the ice cream man, but not you. You're gonna wait, because remember, 2 spawn zones will always be up at any given time. So do not follow your blueberries to that next spawn zone. Just chill, be patient, because another new spawn zone is coming soon and you're gonna go to that one and they're not gonna follow you. Obviously you cannot communicate with your match-made blueberries, but you can predict where they're gonna go. So just wait for them to go to that obvious spawn zone and you can go to the next one when they're occupied with that other one. The only time it's okay for all 3 of you to team up in one zone is when you're about to reach the next Blight phase. Now onto my next tip is that when you realize that your team is about to reach the next Blight phase, which triggers upon hitting 10 ignitions or 20 ignitions, you want to preemptively go into the left side cannon so you can be up on the right side roof. Why, you might ask? Well, there are 4 places on the map that the Blights can spawn at, and 3 of those 4 are easily accessible from the right side roof. One spawns right here, another spawns over there, and another spawns way out on that roof over there, and you can reach that roof quickly by utilizing this cannon conveniently placed here. Now, if you are running a roaming super, make sure to save it for these Blight sections so you can clear it out quickly. And after the Blight section ends, if 2 spawn zones spawn in, go to the furthest one run, because your slow blueberries are going to go to the closer convenient one. And my final tip of the run is that when you complete the activity, if you have grapple, you can reach the top of the bonfire and collect the loot as it shoots out, which saves a little bit of time. Now this is basically the farm you want to do over and over and over again if you don't have a ton of silver leaves. On the other hand, if you happen to have a ton of silver leaves, then there's an extra thing you can do to get more weapons. If you have unlocked all of the Solstice armor on your character and also unlocked the glow for each piece of armor via armor alloy farming, then what's going to happen is that these bounties that Ava has will now offer a chance of getting a Solstice weapon with additional perks. So if you have this as an option, then each time between runs, grab 5 of these bounties from Ava, do the ones that say to generate orbs of power, and just pay to reset the bounties if you do not see the orb ones. The element does not matter because as you can see here, it says we gotta be on arc or prismatic or stasis and prismatic or solar and prismatic, etc, etc. Every single orb bounty grants bonus progress when on prismatic. So in that case, you're going to want to throw on a prismatic build that can make a lot of orbs, and you're going to be able to knock out all 5 of these orb bounties in one single run. Then you can get a few free double perk weapons, go to the tower between each run to grab more bounties, rinse and repeat. Now if I'm doing this on Hunter, I use Radiant Dance Machines with Threaded Spike and Gambler's Dodge with triple heavy-handed on the gloves. So I just dodge spike, dodge spike, dodge spike every chance I get with the Radiant Dance Machines and pop my roaming super whenever I get the chance. And on my Titan, I was just on my Inmost Light Star Eater build, but the exotic doesn't matter, you can just use whatever you want. All that matters is that you run the knockout aspect, so it makes it so your uncharged melees count as powered melees, and you pair that with triple heavy-handed on your gloves, which reduces their cooldown down to 1 second, so every single second you can make an orb just by punching something. And to make even more orbs, I run Solar Siphon and Strand Siphon with double rocket assisted sidearms, and I just get double kills to proc Siphon. So I'll get a double kill with this, and while that Siphon is cooling off, I get a double kill with this, and I just alternate back and forth. And finally for Warlock, I was just using my Cenotaph Mask Cold Heart build that I did recently put out a build video on, shameless plug if you want to check it out. So I was just proccing Arc Siphon with my Cold Heart whenever I got the chance, and then I have Firepower and Heavy-Handed paired along with the Lightning Surge aspect, so I did that every 10 seconds when Heavy-Handed cooled down, and that's about it. And I had Special Finisher, so I never ran out of Cold Heart ammo. And I would definitely say that Warlock is the toughest of the 3 classes to do these orb bounties on. It's definitely easier on Titan and Hunter, so those are the classes I would recommend farming this on. But once again, don't stress if you don't have silver leaves. Just keep doing the farm, and you'll be awarded silver leaves at the end of bonfire completions. And when you've racked up enough leaves, just go grab 5 orb bounties, then go do an orb bonfire run, then afterwards just swap back to your speedrunning build. Easy as that. Now yes, you can go farm the first contact mission for 3 hours and rack up several hundreds of silver leaves, but in my opinion, it's not worth the time. In those 3 hours, you can get like 15 to 20 bonfire runs done. So just don't stress about leaves, just keep on farming, and don't stop. And that about does it for the video. Hopefully these tips have helped you out. If it did, then maybe you can help me out by simply dropping a like and a comment. It's free, it only takes a second, and it helps the algorithm greatly when the viewer interacts like that. So thank you so much for watching, and if you are new here, please consider subscribing. Would love to have you here on this journey to 100K, and with that, I will catch you in the next video. See you later.